reason why this is a topic of discussion, and here it is where I brought up an article where you guys can see CBS Sports, where they talk about the $5 million donation. Saints quarterback Drew Brees and his wife donate $5 million to Louisiana for coronavirus relief. So that wasn't even 2019, that was this year. So he gave $5 million to Louisiana for coronavirus relief. Man has a good heart. I appreciate that. As I said, brain is all up in his ass, though. He said this today. Martin, you say you saw this. Mm-hmm. Saints, Drew Brees, and this is from ESPN, draws backlash for disrespecting the flag comment. Now, not that he disrespected the flag, but he says that, if I got this right, he pretty much said, I cannot agree with anybody at all who disrespects the flag.
Right.
And the reason why, here's a quote. He says, the reason why I can't agree with anybody who disrespects the flag, he says, I love and respect my teammates and I stand right there with them in regards to fighting for racial equality and justice. But he says, I also stand with my grandfathers who risked their lives for this country and countless other military men and women who do it on a daily basis. I understand what you're trying to say, man, but let me just say this. And let me just preface it with saying this. And some people say, Corey, you don't need to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't like just throwing down the term white privilege. It exists. I make no doubt. It's out there. But just like any other slogan, I really pick those moments where I got to say white privilege because just like any other slogan out there, it'll become a catchphrase where it will lose its meaning. Mm-hmm. You just say it. You use it loosely. No one will pay attention. But today, Mr. Brees over here is the prime shining example of white privilege with that, of privilege, period. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to say that lightly, and I don't mean to put him down because I don't throw that term around lightly. But, as I said, what he said about that, about the flag right there, he looks. Let me just put this in contrast for you right here, because I'll read it again so I can really emphasize my point. I'll read the second part of this. I also stand with my grandfathers who risked their lives for this country. Well, guess what? When they got back, they received all the freedoms and all the perks that flag and that anthem promised to apparently everybody in this country. Mm-hmm. Not really.
Well, anybody can promise. It's actually delivering on the promise. That's the hard part.
And it was never written for everybody in the first place. Mm-hmm. The flag was never made for everybody. The Constitution was never written for everybody. Those the Constitution while they had slaves.
Yeah.
So that shit was never meant for everybody. To this fucking day right now, that flag and that anthem lies to people. So your grandfathers got back for fighting for their country. And you know what? When they got back, they got to vote. They got to go where they want to. They got all the best facilities. They were never denied anything. They got, and most importantly, they got to live without fear of being the wrong color in the wrong place. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason why these right here who sit up here and always talk about respect the flag, and I've said it over again, but apparently I got to say it again. I got to say it again to you. The reason why, because my father was a military man. My father was in 3 wars. He was in Vietnam. Before that, he was in Korean conflict. And then before that, he was in World War II.
My father as well.
And your father's. So our fathers. Now, my father took a bullet. My father went into World War II at 15 years of age. And he says he had to lie, but I guarantee you they wouldn't have given him. They probably would let him in no matter what. But
stick him on the front line.
At a very young age, my father took a bullet for this country, which means he was prepared to die for this country. And your father went over there prepared to die. Now, when my father got back, who fought and was ready to die for this country, my father's from Alabama. My father got back smack dab in the middle of Jim Crow. So why, Mr. Brees? So why your grandfather
talking to you?
Pay attention. Look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me. Put your hand down. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Mr. Brees, while your grandfather was out there enjoying all of the perks that were promised to him by the flag and the American dream, my father got back and was told he can't vote, he can't go to certain parts of town, he can't use the best facilities, he can't actually, and if he's in certain parts of the South, he can't even live if he's there after a certain time. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's just to Drew Brees. I'm saying it's to everybody who's behind him, because apparently you don't give a or you don't understand. Take your pick. And at this point, if you don't understand, then you're just playing sides.
Well, also this disrespecting the country and disrespecting the flag, how far does that go? Does that mean like every song about America you have to stand for
some people,
respect?
Yeah. Well, not every song, but you know what? They say for the national anthem, you better stand. You better salute to the flag. You better not touch that flag the wrong way. You better not drop it. You know what I mean? Fuck, you act like that flag has been on the battleground the whole time with everybody. Right. People, again, look at those pictures. Jim Crow, man. Everything was whites only. And everybody thinks Jim Crow South was doing that. No, they were doing that all around the country. Hattie McDaniel won the Academy Award, first black woman to win the Academy Award, and she couldn't even come into the place to get her award. And if she did, she had to go through the back. So don't tell me about the flag. The flag's a lie.